Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is for the Stamp With Me hop, so I am going to be using some stamps on this layout. I really wanted to start with some of these scraps that I had left over from the last layout I made, which you will actually see on Saturday because it's part of a hop. So you haven't seen that one yet. This is number 4 with my How to Kill a Kit with Style August, and so I'm still using Felicity Jane's Amanda collection. I really like how this mustard and this green look together, and I had some scraps already out, like I said, from the previous page, so I really wanted to go ahead and use them together. I decided I would take advantage of the scallopy border that's on the edge of this solid and try and make that a cool little decorative border going over a scrap of this mustard. So that's where I started to take this layout. And then I also had a scrap of this green plaid from the previous layout, which again you'll see Saturday. So I figured I would try and use this as well. I wanted some larger paper layers on this page because the past couple I've made, it's really, the background is very open. There's just a few little layers here and there. So I really wanted some big chunky layers as my background. So I feel like I achieved that by using this big chunk of plaid. I'm going through now and just trying to figure out how to salvage some of these bigger scraps that are going to be covered. So you saw initially I had pieced together my 12 by 12 by using this green and this yellow. I decided to patch it together on a scrap piece of black paper because a huge portion of this green solid is going to be covered by this plaid paper, so I figured I'd go ahead and gut it before I glued everything down. So I decided to use this black piece of paper as my template since I'm going to be having smaller, flimsier pieces as my background. So you can see me cutting a huge portion of this paper. It's double-sided, so the back part is blue. I think I've only used the green side of that solid so far though, but I really like that I salvaged that last portion because it did have the scallopy detail on that as well, so I have that I can use on a future layout. But yeah, I'm just piecing this together. The plaid's going to go in the middle, just so how you already saw it pretty much. I'm going to trim up a little bit because it's bothering me how there's this like faint white edge on a couple of the sides. So just going to trim that down. That's going to be my background. I have this single photo here. It's just a 4x6. This is my headshot from when I was on the design team of Festive Friday. This is my first headshot I've ever had to take, so I was really proud of it. On the Festive Friday website, just to make all of the headshots look cohesive, Nicole had turned them all black and white and did this really cool like bokeh effect filter on the background. But I just decided to use this color photo because I already had it saved to my phone from when I sent it to her. And my shirt's green and my hair is blonde, so I thought I went with this yellow and green color scheme I was already working with. And I definitely wanted to document my first design team position ever. I was really happy when I was invited to stay on the design team. Some of you may know, but last year I just filled in as kind of a temporary person when Miranda had some school stuff to do for a couple weeks, so I took her spot temporarily. But when January came around and they needed some new design team members, they asked me if I wanted to be an official member, so I was super excited about that, so definitely wanted to document it. It was a lot of fun. I filled a whole term, so I did from January to June of this year, and it was so much fun. It was such a good experience, and I love the Festive Friday challenges. I need to hop on there and do a couple, even though not a design team member anymore, just because it was so much fun to play along with. But I figured I'd go ahead and document it, my first little headshot, so that's all that is. And I'm just backing it. I wanted to matte it in some green, but the green was kind of blending into the green plaid, so I wanted to double matte it in a thin piece of white, but I'm out of white paper. I don't know how that happened, so I decided to take some packaging, some Felicity Jane packaging, because it's white, and use that as a scrap piece of white paper to matte my photo, and it did the job, so that was nice. And that kind of helps that photo stand out a little bit from that plaid background. And then I had that lemon 12 by 12 you guys saw in the beginning of this video. I went ahead and fussy cut a bunch of the lemons off screen, and I decided I would do this whole trickle effect with them down the page. I just thought it was so cute, and even though like I don't really know what lemons have to do with the theme, I think I was still on a kick because you'll see the page I did on Saturday used the same color scheme and some of the lemons as well. And I kind of used a squeeze the day sentiment on that page, so I thought it kind of rolled over into this page as well, just because I was decided to squeeze the day and take them up on the design team thing. So that was, I figured on theme in that context, even though I didn't really have squeeze the day sentiment on this page. I don't know. They're lemons and they're green and yellow and they go. So I thought it just looked cute with them trickling down the page like this. I think one of the design team members did something similar to this. I think their lemons were a little bit more clustery and it looked super cute, but I figured I'd go ahead and fussy cut them and try and use the lemons like this. And there's also a lemon branding strip I decided to use as well. But then you can see there's a huge chunk of this plaid that's going to be covered by my photo, so I decided to go ahead and gut that as well. So I'm just trying to measure where my photo is going to be covering, so I'll have that plaid to move to another future layout as well. But yeah, so this is the main portion of the design, and then I realized that there's, I still need to do some kind of journaling or title or something to explain this photo and what this page is about. And the lemons kind of covered a lot of the area where I was planning on doing that. You can see that yellow, that mustardy colored journaling spot to the left there. I initially had planned on doing my journaling on that to the right of the photo, but now there are lemons clustered on the right of the photo. So after I kind of get these down how I want them, I'll realize I do want the journaling spot over there. So I'll end up moving a couple lemons to get that kind of where I was planning it. I didn't have to do too much as far as rearranging though. I pretty much just put the lemon that was going to cover on top of the journaling spot instead. So you'll see that. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a hidden journaling behind the photo with this or not. But for the most part, I try not to do hidden journaling because I don't know. I don't want people to have to reach into pocket cards to pull them out and stuff. And I don't know if they'd even know to pull it out to read the journaling. And in the end, I didn't need journaling at all because I ended up using smaller font thickers for my title and just spelled out my journaling with those instead. But I do need to do some stamping because this is Stamp With Me. I pulled out a couple of my other Felicity Jane stamp sets. I didn't get the stamp set for the Amanda collection, so I pulled out some of the other ones, and one of the sentiments in the Harper stamp set is thankful. So I was definitely thankful that they invited me last year to fill in for them. I think Amanda actually asked me if I would fill in for her, and then that Nicole wanted to keep me on for the next term. So I definitely wanted to use that little thankful sentiment. I just did my heat and stamping and embossing thing I like to do on my Stamp With Me. So it's just the easiest way for me to stamp is to do this heat embossing, especially because I usually like to stamp on darker colors, and usually my inks are not up to that. So by heat embossing with white, it really stands out. I really love the look, and it just adds a whole nother texture when you heat emboss. So that's all I did there. And then I decided I would also sprinkle some hearts on my background around these sprinkles of lemons. So I thought it would be really cute to do some heat embossed little hearts as well, because there was an outline of a heart in that Harper stamp set too, and I just thought it would look really cute. So I figured that this one little thankful stamp was not going to be enough to cut it for the Stamp With Me, so I felt like I needed to do a little bit more. And I'm usually shy to do heat and stamp embossing directly on the background, especially when I'm this far along on the layout, but live a little. It's a little tiny heart. If I was going to mess it up, I could always move one of the lemons to cover it and try again. So I figured I'd just suck it up and do it. They're not the neatest little stamp embossed hearts, but I think they do turn out really cute, and I just like that little addition to my little trickle of lemons. So you can see I'm just trying to do them one at a time to make sure that they're as neat as possible, using my little paintbrush to try and flick away any loose dust that's not where I want it before I melt it down. And it turned out pretty good, so I'm glad I sucked it up and did that. I was a little worried at first when I was like, do I really want to try and do that? But I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? So I'm just doing my third one down here. I figured I'd just do 3, so they were 3 little clusters, and I thought that turned out really good. Again, you can see me just trying to brush off some of this excess dust before I melt it down. But this is such an easy stamping technique for me. I just love using my stamps this way. So, and you can see how much that white stands off of the background. I just don't know of any ink that can really do that. So stamp and heat embossing is the way to go for me. And then I figure I needed a title. At first I was thinking thankful could be my title, and then I could do my journaling underneath that on this pocket card. But for whatever reason, I was just determined to use some thickers as well. So I went through my stash and ended up finding, what are these called? They're thickers. They're called Happy Life. And I love them because you get so many letters. And they're this cute little white foam stickers. And the back is actually navy. You get 2 whole sets of alphabets in this pack. So I think I got it at Tuesday Mornings too. Did I? I don't know. There's not a sticker on it. I don't know where I got it from. But long story short, there was just a cute little size, and they gave me so many letters that I figured I could just do my journaling with my title. So I am just spelling out Festive Friday DT Headshot. Whenever you see DT, usually means design team. Whenever you're looking at layouts or process videos where it says some kind of company or whatever, DT, usually means that person is on the design team and that's their project for them. So I just decided I would use that as my little title just because it explains everything. I don't have the dates on here yet, so I definitely do want to put the dates of my term being a design team member for them. So the B side of this mustard are these really cute little tabs, and there was a green and a yellow one, so I decided to fussy cut those and use those as my dates. So this photo was taken, I think it was in December the photo was taken, but I'm putting it here because my term was, my official design team term, even though I played a couple months back in 2019 as well, was January to June. So I'm just going to have these 2 little tabs, one of them poking up above the photo and the other poking up above the journaling. And I'm just going to have on one January 2022 with a little arrow and then on the other tab June 2020. And if you guys ever want to play along with Festive Friday or be on the design team, make sure you follow them on Facebook. I'll link them in the description. I think they just had a design team call for the next year, so I think they've already filled the positions for the next term. But if you follow them, if you're interested in being on their design team, definitely keep an eye out because they do open up applications to everyone if you're looking to be on a design team. So it was a lot of fun. And here I'm just doing my little dates. I'm just using a Stampin' Write pen. This one is called More Mustard. This pen, have I used this a lot this month? I can't tell. I mean, this is only my 4th page, but this color mustard goes really good with this collection. So there's that, and then I'm just adding a couple little Nouveau drops, and here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. It wasn't for a challenge or anything, but other than stamping, I guess. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.